Get up off the couch and get some fresh air, as it's time to join Calvin Pyle for Classic Country Outdoors on AM 1500 WBZI. A noted Ohio fisherman join Calvin every Sunday at noon to find out where they're hauling the fish in and where they're bagging the big game. Feel free to put your 2 cents in as well at 374-3636 or 1-888-740-9444. Now your host and the only guy who can catch a fish without a pole, Calvin Pyle.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Classic Country Outdoors. Today is November the 27th. Well, folks, our youth gun season is over. The youth harvest here in Ohio was 8,445. That compares to 1 year ago, 8,681. So, boy, the kids had a very, very good harvest. Tomorrow, we'll start our regular whitetail shotgun season here in Ohio. And today's show, folks, is going to be a little different. Actually, today's show, we really should be calling it the FrogLube Show. Because what we're going to do today, we got a special guest here in the studio. My wife, Connie's here, and going to be a little different for Connie today. Normally, Connie comes in about Thanksgiving and Christmas time and gives us some recipes and stuff. But today, I got her talked into taking apart a couple of handguns. And we're going to FrogLube them. So we're really going to work this product over pretty good, folks. Also today, on the show, I'm expecting a call from Travis Kelly of FrogLube, and we're really going to go into just how this FrogLube works. Another thing we're going to do today, going to have a giveaway towards the end of the show. My phone number for this giveaway, 1-888-740-9444. That's our studio hotline right here, folks. But giveaway is going to be a little different. Going to be some special conditions involved. So, folks, stay tuned for all of that. Well, I would like to tell you what we did with FrogLube last week. I'm a black powder shooter. I really spend a lot of time with them, really like to shoot them. Shoot the old style cap and ball, the side locks. In particular, both my wife and I, we have Thompson Center Renegades. Really like to shoot them. They're a lot of fun, awful good deer gun. One of the things with the black powder guns that we do, we don't shoot the sabots. Our guns are the old side lock type that I said before. And the bullet that you use in them, we've always used a bullet made by Lee for that 54 caliber. It's a lot heavier bullet than Thompson even recommends. And to use that bullet, Thompson Center makes a paste called Maxi-Lube. Always used it. Shoots pretty good, but folks, it has a real problem, especially a deer hunting problem. And the problem is with the Thompson Center Maxi-Lube that you use after you fire the gun, if you don't load it just real quick, and the weather's cold, that lube that you've got inside the barrel gets hard. So, by guys, one of the things I thought I'd try to do with this FrogLube is use it as a lube for our Thompson Center guns. And folks, we tried that and shot them, and it works excellent. It's very pasty, loads easily. When you pull the trigger, it does kind of throw a spray out in front of you a little bit, but it doesn't re-harden in the barrel. makes a very nice gun. Very nice shooting. Accuracy-wise, it's as good as the Thompson Center Maxi-Lube. Boy, loading-wise, it's much, much easier. So, if nothing else, how these handguns come out, folks, I still like this FrogLube very well for our Thompson Center muzzle lube. Makes a very good product. So today, you're going to hear an awful lot about that, and I would like to talk to you a little bit before we really get into this, and talk to you a lot about some of the handguns we're going to be. Folks, these are concealed carry handguns. You're going to hear us talk about semi-automatics. The Walther we're going to take apart here in a little while and talk about it. I carry a revolver, a Smith & Wesson, and you're going to be hearing more about it. You're going to be hearing an awful lot today about concealed carry. So, I think the phone's ringing here. I'll bet you this is my call from FrogLube. We'll try it here in just a minute, folks. One of the things that we do need to talk about, though, while we're waiting here for this phone call, if you're looking for a handgun, get you a good handgun. A good, the Rugers are good. Smith & Wessons are awful good. Some of the older Colts, if you find them, they're good. Don't mess around with some of them. Get you a good quality handgun, because you've got to remember, when it's all said and done, you're really going to actually bet your life on it. Let me try this phone call here, folks, and we'll see what we got here on Classic Country. Hello, you're on Classic Country Outdoors.
Hi, this is Travis, FrogLube.
Oh, good, Travis. Guys, we're just talking about FrogLube, and I told everybody, tried it out with the muzzle loaders, tried it out as a bullet lube for the muzzle loaders. I really like it well. It works good. That's the first thing we've done with it.
Okay. Yeah, and one thing people need to realize, you don't, unless for long-term storage, you really don't need to leave a bunch of this, actually any residue on the gun at all. Once that barrel is seasoned with the FrogLube, I mean, you're good to go. It'll, there again, the heat will wick it to the surface, and it's going to perform as if it basically like break free or any of those others. You've really got to leave it slathered on the surface, and that's not the case with FrogLube.
Okay, but now, what I'm doing with it, we shoot the Thompson Centers, and the bullet lube that we actually put on the bullet itself, we use that Maxi-Lube from Thompson Center, and have never liked it. It shoots good, but it hardens so hard in the barrel. But you know, I tried your FrogLube as the same way we use this Maxi-Lube, and boy, the gun shoots fine. Works good. I like it.
Yeah, the great thing about the FrogLube is because I think the last time we talked, I mentioned the properties of it. It allows it to remain viscous and liquid at lower temperatures, just simply because, without getting into the science of it, but the molecular structure of it prevents it from hardening up like that, so it will stay pliable.
One of the things I did notice about that, it smells good, and it does seem to be different than the Thompson Center Maxi-Lube in the fact that it puts a lot more spray out in front of you. It's a lot finer mist when it comes out the barrel.
Right.
I would think if you were shooting in the wind, you might end up tasting a little bit of that stuff.
That would, there again, that's why we don't recommend leaving any excess residue on the surface. And you really shouldn't have to do that with any proper gun cleaning equipment at all anyway. If something's doing what it advertises, there's no need to have it slathered everywhere. With FrogLube, that's one of the benefits of it, why the teams in Afghanistan love it so much. They can run their weapons dry for all intents and purposes, but lube is actually in the metal, and so they're not having all this dust and everything collecting on that residue as you're carrying their weapons around.
Hey, Travis, I got one of your buddies on the other line. Ron's on the other line. Hang on a minute. I'm going to see if we can get him on here, okay?
Okay.
Hello? Ron, are you on the line?
Yeah, I hear you, Calvin.
Well,
hey, Travis. Hey, Ron.
Ron, what have you been doing?
Oh, well, I was waiting for the show. I didn't know if you wanted, I know originally it was supposed to be both of us calling, but I didn't hear it, if it changed or not. So if you just want to talk to Travis, I'll hang up and be a listener.
Oh, no.
I need some backup, some buffer here.
Well, let me tell you how we've changed this a little bit. Connie's here in the studio. We'll get her on here in just a minute.
Hi, Connie.
Yes. He said hi. What we're going to do, we came in this morning early and thought we'd try to clean these guns right here in the studio. I plugged the hairdryer in, turned it on, and it made an awful noise in the radio. So we've got everything out in our break room here. And
okay.
We've done one gun. I think we can get her on here, and she can tell you how much I'm making her do all the work. See, that's the way you do this. See, you find out how they work. Oh, one more thing, Travis. The kits that you gave us, I ran some of those instructions and put them in the kits.
Okay.
So that'll work out all right, won't it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Even if there's no wrong way to use FrogLube, I can tell you that. Your 5-year-old could get a hold of it and put it on the bumper of your car, and it's going to work.
Well, good. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get Connie on here and let her give us what she thinks of it and what she thinks of me, and well, maybe just what she thinks of FrogLube might sound a little better. Connie, you're on the air. Have you done any good with this stuff?
Yeah, it's less labor intensive than I had first thought it might be. The only thing that takes a little time is using the hairdryer to warm up the gun parts. But if it's a rainy afternoon or cold winter afternoon or any time you got a little time, sit down. It's always been pretty relaxing to clean your guns. I did notice that all the guns that were out to be cleaned were yours.
I told you this would happen, folks, didn't I? Yeah.
But, yeah, it works pretty good. It's, even though I'm not offended by the smell of hoppies and regular gun oil, in fact, I've always kind of liked that smell, but this stuff has a nice smell to it, and it's easy to use. You, after your gun is heated up, you use the,
yeah. That's the liquid thing we kind of put on there first. We let it dry some. Then we went ahead and heated the guns up again, got them hot again, and then actually pasted them again. So we really gave it a pretty good thickness. Then we let it dry off, and then we wiped it off. Does a real good job. And the thing that gets me, especially the firing chambers, we tried to clean them first before we use the FrogLube. And then, by gosh, when we use the FrogLube afterwards, we got more dirt out of it, didn't you?
Right. And one thing I did, I used a kit with the normal brushes and patches and so forth, and then I used a snake. Bought a new one, so they didn't really have anything on it, and I used it, and it worked equally well. And you have to remember when you're cleaning your gun, of course, is you always want to bring the snake through the same way the bullet's going to come out.
Yeah. And
same way when you're using the any kind of gun cleaning kit, you don't go back and forth in it. You just come out the barrel the way the bullet's going to come out. And if you're using a revolver, same thing when you're cleaning the cylinder. You bring it through the way the bullet will come out. But this lube is, like I said, it takes a little time to warm up the gun pieces. But after that, it's no harder or no more labor intensive or time consuming than any other method.
Travis, you were saying that the armed services use this pretty well. Do they do anything different than normal?
Other than have more time off because they're not cleaning their weapons as long. Nothing really. They're not having the feed jams. Without getting into too much detail, we did have a SEAL team recently that they used the issued lubricant and they were having major malfunctions actually in battle. They requested the switch back to FrogLube and it cleared, and that just basically did away with every malfunction they were having. And if that's not a testament, that our nation's finest request to use it because it works so well. I don't know how much more convincing we can really do with anybody.
Well, I noticed that this Walther PPK that I have a bad problem with it jamming. It seems to me like the only ammunition I could shoot in it was CCIs, and even after a box or so of them, it would jam. But one of the things I noticed with the FrogLube, if you actually wire brush the firing chamber real good, in fact, the head spacing, even though you think it's clean, I wire brush it with the paste of the FrogLube, let it set for a while, heated the gun up, went through it again, and boy, I got out a lot of stuff I didn't realize was in there. You know what I mean?
I do. That's one of the biggest testaments. People bring me their carry guns and everything else at gun shows. I ask them if it's clean. Yes, it's clean. It's clean. And they're amazed at what I pull out of it. They don't realize how much carbon actually will soak into the metal. And another point I wanted to make, too, if somebody gets FrogLube and they don't right now have the opportunity to heat their gun up, in which I just put my oven on low and throw my parts in there. But
oh, wait a minute. Connie, did you hear that? He uses the oven. That's what I wanted to do. She wouldn't let me do that. You know that?
I think the lowest oven setting is around 175, and if you've got a gun that can't handle 175 degrees, you need to go throw it in the garbage. That's my opinion on that, because it's hot. If you do FrogLube and you don't go through all the treatment process right away, just putting it on there and firing your gun will start to loosen that carbon instantly, and the heat from firing it will let it get into the metal and start pushing that carbon out. So even applying it before you go to the range, if you don't have time right now to do a full treatment, it's still going to go to work. You've seen what it'll do. It'll just liquefy carbon and liquefy as rust. If you're talking about concealed carry before I got on the air.
Yeah.
A lot of people have trouble with rust if they've got an IWB holster and if they're not wearing a T-shirt, rust issues from their sweat. Everybody that I've talked to that's used FrogLube, they've done away with those rust issues. It's not come back, and that's a great product for if you're carrying concealed and you're carrying tight to your body.
Well, then, what is FrogLube? Is it a detergent, or is it a lubricant, or how do you classify it?
It's a CLP. It's a cleaner lubricant and protectant. There's no oil, water, or wax in it at all. This is all plant-based ingredients. It does have a PAO lubricant in the liquid, and it's non-harmful, non-toxic. And I'm like her. I don't mind so much some of the smells of. I grew up old school with the WD-40, and there wasn't a big gun cleaning market back then. Well, so I don't mind the smell. Kind of, it brings back some nostalgia and whatnot, but what it does to you, what the other products will do to your hands, will do to your furniture, will do to your pets or anything else they come in contact with, including your guns, you're not going to have those issues with FrogLube. This is 100% safe. It's food-grade plant ingredients.
Well, then, one of the things that worried me, too, I have my gun reloading stuff and everything down the basement, right next to the furnace and hot water heater. It's not flammable at all, is it?
No, it's not. It's actually, non-flammable, non-toxic, non-harmful. I think it's a 700-degree flash point.
Okay.
So it's really going to take some heat before it even takes off.
Well, what's the history on FrogLube? Who developed it?
It was actually developed by Navy SEALs for the SEAL teams to be used in and around park. There's actually Larry Lasky, who owns Automos, who produces FrogLube, is a former SEAL commander. And there again, with the endorsement of the special operations community, who, if anybody else, I can't think of any other group of people on the face of the earth that put weapons through just the torture process. And you can't duplicate that out on the range, what they put their weapons through. So that seals the deal for me right there.
Boy, that makes it sound awful good. Well, what we're going to do here, we're going to take a break here in just a minute, and going to come back and tell you how we've done. We got a Smith & Wesson here. Going to clean it. Then probably next week, 1 or 2 days next week, we're going to go out and shoot these guns. Probably run about a box of shells through each one, and just come back and tell you next week what the heck's going on. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Ron, what have you been doing? Tell us what's happening.
I've been cleaning and FrogLubing everything.
Well, you son of a gun, you.
Actually, I wanted to ask Travis a question.
Yeah.
Reloading dies. Would FrogLube work on reloading dies, like a sizer die?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I actually have a reloading kit in my basement I'm getting ready to go to work on with the FrogLube because it's had a couple of, rust issues get in on a couple of spots I'm not too keen on, so I'm going to take the FrogLube to it, and I know it'll take care of it and take it right off.
I wanted to ask you that when we were playing on this show. I wanted to make sure. I didn't think it would hurt it, but I just didn't know for sure. Calvin, I'm telling you, you're going to love this stuff. I heated, actually I went and bought a heat gun, and I did one of my ARs. I put 1,200, cleaned it one time with FrogLube and treated it. Put 1,200 rounds through it, and the only reason I stopped at 1,200 is because I ran out of ammo. Bought it, no jams, nothing. It ran out. The first shot was just like the 1,200 shot. And when I brought it home, it was absolutely, it actually took longer to take it apart than it did to clean it.
Okay. Then it sounds to me like it must not hold dirt or anything too well either. It must not be a carrier. I'm kind of liking it. We're going to give it some tries. Also, I'm going to try to give some away, and Travis, one of the things I'm going to do when I give it away here on the radio here in just a little bit, I'm going to ask some people to try it, give me a call, and maybe even write you a letter and stuff. They'll be having your... Well, I think I've got your email, too, there. Is that right?
You do. Let me get it. I've actually got a much easier email for people to write down over the air.
Just a minute. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, it's AmericanFrogLube@gmail.com. And AmericanFrogLube.
Oh, okay.
@gmail.com. Now, would you like me to tell them about our sign-up?
Yes. Yeah, let's do that now.
We're running a deal, Ron. You need to know this, too, in case you run across anybody in Ohio that refers to us a local gun shop. You want to see them carry FrogLube and they become a retailer. Either give them our information or email us and send them their information. But if they become a dealer, then what we're going to do is ship you a free 8-ounce kit.
All right.
Ron, you know how far an 8-ounce kit's going to go.
Oh, yeah, you ain't kidding.
So,
I think I did 12 handguns with the 1/4 ounce little tubs. The little 4th ounce or the 8th ounce, whatever they were. The little sample tubs Larry sent me. I think I did 12 to 15 handguns just with one of those.
I sent a friend of mine that deals antique firearms one of those. I gave it to him, and I went over about 3 days later, and he was halfway cussing me. He was like, I haven't slept in 3 days. I've been cleaning everything on the walls.
Perfect sleeper. These are just a few of the Serta lines you'll find at Naylor's. Get the rest and the savings you deserve with a Serta mattress from Naylor's Furniture, Wilmington on 22 and 3.
Chapstick asks, do you use Chapstick with Shield 365 in sand or snow?
Hi, I'm Sandy Sanderson, and I just love the sand. Quicksand, ampersands, sandalwood scented candles. And I wear Chapstick Lip Shield 365 to keep my lips protected from the sun year-round. My boyfriend here also wears it.
Yeah, I'm Sleety McNippison, and I like snow. Snow tires, snow peas, snow leopards, snow
Are you sand or snow? Either way, new Chapstick Lip Shield 365 with SPF 50 has you covered. And have your say at Facebook.com/Chapstick.
Oh, welcome back to Classic Country Outdoors. Well, Travis, got something I got to run by you here. We may be changing this a little bit. One of the disc jockeys that's on right after me, a very famous fella, Chubby Howard, he plays a steel guitar. He needs a lubricant for some of his pedals on the steel guitar. Can we use FrogLube? What do you think?
And there again, I hate to. We're real cautious about. We want people to discover their own uses for it, but any place that metal rubs together, we just don't want to sound like snake oil salesmen because of what all this will do. So we're focusing on the guns and everything. But absolutely, you wouldn't believe everything around my house that's FrogLubed.
Well, it looks like maybe next week you'll have to hear about a test on a steel guitar. I guess we can do that. I'm going to get one of these little kits and we'll see what happens, okay?
It's not going to make them play better.
Oh, Chubby don't need help. He's a good player.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, I got you on here, Travis. You teach concealed carry, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Get a lot of calls here on the show about concealed carry. We do a lot here lately. One of the things that we really talk about is women and concealed carry. I would like you to give us your ideas of some good handguns for women, what they need to know, or what they get into, because, boy, a lot of our classes here in Ohio, probably 30 or 40% of them now are women, you know it?
Oh, I believe it. And one thing, while it's on my mind, I'll get to the pistols on that.
Okay.
Then if you're going to take your wife and get her concealed carry permit, you need those too. But if she's going to carry a concealed carry purse, you need to learn to shoot with it. Whatever she carries concealed, if it's off the body, then you need to go to the range with her and practice accessing from concealment that weapon. Because if something happens, how many times does a wife sit here, hold my purse, or hold this and hold that, and an armload of stuff, and now you can't access your weapon, and you're holding her purse that has hers in it, and you don't know how to get to it, you might as well not be carrying anything.
Never thought of that, but
that's a great idea.
That is true.
And she needs to shoot yours also. Whatever you're both going to carry, you need to practice with together at the range, because if for some reason she can't access her weapon or she doesn't have it with her and you're taken down and she needs to get yours, she needs to know immediately, as soon as it hits her hand, how to use it.
Boy, that makes a lot of sense. And one of the things I keep telling the fellows, your wife really needs to get a concealed carry permit, even if, how do I say, even if she doesn't want one, because we have problems in the family. You leave a gun in the car, and something happens, and they get stopped. She needs to know what's going on, you know?
Absolutely, and not just for that, for the simple fact that if you have a gun in your home at all, then you are basically a Second Amendment rights supporter.
Yes.
And you need to support all those things that strengthen that protect our liberties. And having a concealed carry permit or exercising your right to carry is one of the ways of doing that. I'm a big advocate of carrying responsibly.
Yes.
I do believe you need an education. It's the same thing. I don't believe in putting a 16, 17-year-old behind the wheel of a 2,000-pound vehicle gun shows and everything. Go to these gun shows. Go visit them. Keep them alive. Even if you don't buy anything, at least go to them. Same thing with the permits, everything. Do it legally. Support it. Just helps all of us in the long run.
Boy, that's good advice. Okay, in general, what's a good caliber and a good carry for a woman?
That's a sweet question, because I've seen some women that could handle it, carrying a Desert Eagle with them. Then ones you question, they can even handle a 25 auto.
Yeah.
The principle of any gun can do if you can do needs to be, I think, what needs to happen. The NRA courses are a really good source for basic pistol instruction. It gives you a broad range of guns to fire. And I think what any woman needs to do, just like a man, is not go out and buy the latest, coolest, hottest thing on the market. You need to go find what fits your hand, what you're comfortable shooting with, what you can access well, and if you're going to use it for concealment, what you can conceal best that fits all those needs. As far as caliber, I wouldn't really drop below below a 38.
Yeah. Well, I understand that, and it does seem like, though, that women have a little different needs. Their clothes fit different. The problem I've got with my wife, she wants to accessorize and buy the pretty ones and buy the ones in fashion. And springtime, she's got to get a new firearm. Wintertime, she's got to get a new firearm. Boy, that's something we got to straighten up. You know that?
Well, I think it's probably better than shoes.
Okay.
At any day of the week. Here's the point, too, on whatever you're going to carry concealed, don't worry about all the shiny bells and whistles, because nobody's supposed to see it anyway.
Right.
So it's kind of pointless to have, unless you're going to have your gun party at the house and show everybody your shiny new gun, but if nobody's going to see it. Find one that, there again, suits you. And I do want to say something in the defense of women here, so this may set a few men back. I'm a former sniper in the military, and women by nature, men understand this, women by nature are better long-barrel shooters than men are, just by their breathing pattern. So keep those things in mind when the physical aspects of shooting, and just because a girl looks at, I know some girls that look tiny, but I'll tell you what, they can put you on your back.
Yeah. Well, we've got into these laser sights an awful lot. Do you use them? Do you recommend them at all?
I'm not big on the laser sights. I've got some red dot optics and things like that on my M4 and whatnot. But as far as pistols, my personal opinion on that, I have a problem with that, because it's just like using a GPS before you learn to use a lymphatic compass. You always need to learn the basics first. If you don't know how to acquire a good sight picture, first and foremost, and then concentrate on that front sight, putting a laser on there is going to make it even worse, because now you're searching for a dot somewhere. Where if you do have a laser coupled with a good sight picture, then you're right there, then you know. But I see too many people taking a laser, sticking it on a gun, going, okay, well, now the laser's going to do the work for me. But if you've got a laser sight for some reason and you're carrying concealed and you're not used to getting a good sight picture, now you actually have to draw your weapon. You've got a heavy adrenaline dump. You're getting tunnel vision, and you're going to be lucky to even the safety off, if you can remember to, if your gun has a safety. And now you're trying to find a little bitty dot somewhere on somebody that's trying to shoot back at you.
So then you really think a person should learn the sight picture, learn the iron sights, and then maybe later on think about one, right?
Absolutely. Even they don't show on these shows on TV about sniper school and whatnot, but when you go through you don't put a scope on your gun for well over a week. You're starting to learn to shoot through the iron sights and hit targets at distance with that, because the optics can break, the scope can break. Those iron sights are pretty solid. So if you ever have to revert back to those,
makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Well, folks, I'll tell you what we'd like to do now. I've got about 5 of these FrogLube kits to give away. Phone line is open right now, 1-888-740-9444. But now here's the rules before you start calling. If I give you a set of this stuff, you will have to come into the studio here and pick it up. You have to come into the Classic Country Radio and pick it up during our regular business hours. I'll put your name on it. You have to use it, and you have to use it soon. And just call me and let me know what you think about it. And Travis's email will be in there, his address. Send him something, too. My gosh, Travis, I got a phone call right now. Let's see what the heck we got here.
Okay.
Cool.
Hello, you're on Classic Country Outdoors.
Trying to win one of the kits you've got for sale. I've got a few guns I'd like to try it on and some reels.
Okay. What I'd like to have is your name and phone number. Can we do that?
Yes, sir. It's
okay.
John Kelly, and it's P.O. Box 388, Seaman, S-E-A-M-A-N, Ohio.
Oh, gosh, you're way down in Seaman.
Yeah, 45679.
Okay. John, let's see. How can we do this?
You'll have to mail that one, Calvin.
Okay, John. P.O. Box, what was it?
388.
388, Seaman, and what's the zip code of Seaman?
45679.
45679. John, I'm going to send you a kit. There'll be a case lube in it. There'll be a little bottle of lube in it, and there'll be some instructions. Will you try it out and let me know what you think of it?
I will, and I'll take some to the local gun shop, and I'll let them know about it too.
Okay.
Yeah, take some before and after pictures if you think of it also.
I will.
Okay. We'll do that and get that out to you this week. Let me know what you think about it, and don't take it to them gun shops right away. Really give it a good try first and see what you think of it, okay?
Oh, I will, yeah. I will. I'll take it where I buy my guns after I'm done, and I'll let them know all about it.
Okay.
Send for 60 months, plus you get 1,000. This Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland loaded Mrs. Toby's demo, $7,500 off sticker. This Dodge Caravan only $21,988. The model year clearance at Key Chrysler in Xenia today. Hi, I'm Terry Toby from Key Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram Truck in Xenia. I'm proud to be sponsoring Greene County's high school sports coverage on the voice of Greene County WBZI. If you're in the market for a new car, truck, minivan, or SUV, put Key Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram Truck on your shopping list. Let us show you how spectacular the new vehicles from the new Chrysler Corporation are, and the deals will suit every budget. Again, from everyone at Key Chrysler, we wish all the high school athletes and their fans in the county a great season. I'll see you at a high school game or at Key. How about today?
Oh, welcome back to Classic Country Outdoors. Well, let's see. Travis, I think I got one more question here with you. Connie was just asking me, how long has FrogLube been on the market? And we do understand there isn't many places here to get it, but how long has it been available?
Hello? Oh, sorry. It's been on, I'm getting a bit of feedback here. It's been on the public market for about a year, and it's taken quite some time to develop it, but that's why we're kind of moving slow and getting it into the hands of the gun shops and the people. We are a small business owner. We don't want this in the hands of the big corporate stores and whatnot. We want to help the small business owner in America.
We're not know that I'm
waiting.
I'm there?
You don't know you're here?
I don't know. Do you know I'm on the line?
Hang on just a minute, sir. Ma'am, we're talking here. We'll be with you in just a minute, okay?
Okay.
I've got two lines open here. Yeah. Go ahead, ma'am. What have you got to say?
Just calling in for the contest. The free gift package you've given away for the guns.
Oh, okay. We're giving away some FrogLube. It's a gun cleaner. Is that what you'd like to have?
Yeah.
Okay. What I need from you is your name and where are you located?
In England.
Okay. I'm going to have to come to the studio here in Xenia to pick it up. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Give me your name, and I'll put some up at the record store for you.
Okay, well, actually, we're driving. I was calling for my husband and just holding on to the phone until they said, you came on and started talking to me, but somehow it was really confused. So here, I'll let you talk to him because it's really for him. Okay? Yeah.
What's your name, sir?
My name's Chris. Hamlin.
Your last name, sir?
Hamlin, spelled Hanlin.
Okay. What you can do is pick it up at our Classic Country store here. Boy, I've got all kinds of...
At the record store and the radio station.
The record store and the radio station are the same place?
Same place.
Wednesday through Friday, our record store is open 10 to 5 on those days, okay?
10 to 5, Wednesday through Friday. Okay, got it.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. I'm going to shut you off here. We got a phone problem.
Thank you.
Bye. Well, Travis, we are getting rid of a few of these things.
That sounds like a train or something in the background.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Finally, I want to let your listeners know something, too. This is going to replace every product that they use. You're not going to be buying 3 or 4 different products that are, anywhere from $10 to $20 a bottle to get your guns clean anymore. This is going to do it all in one shot. And it's not going to wear off. You don't have to reapply every single time after you shoot and clean like you do with other products, because this is actually soaked into the metal, and it doesn't wear off the surface. It doesn't. Most products, they will just lay on the surface. You go to the range, you shoot one time, and they're gone. You got to go home and scrape and scrub the carbon off, reapply. So every time you shoot, you're not just spending money on ammo and spending your time cleaning and getting aggravated, leaving more carbon on there. This is going to do it all in one shot. You don't have to reapply it every time you clean your gun. You can do a wipe down and put it back together and go right back to the range with it.
Okay. Boy, that sounds good. We got one more phone call coming in. I think Chubby's taking care of it. My gosh, we're getting a lot of listeners today. Folks, looks like we got a couple of more FrogLubes to give away, so I can take 2 more phone calls here in the next 5 or 6 minutes. And one thing you've got to do, though, folks, if you come up and pick up this FrogLube, you've got to try it out. You've got to give me another call. Tell me about how it's working, because we really want to give this a good product. And I'm telling you right now, folks, as you're listening, if you try it, and if you don't like it, Travis, I want to know about that too. Is that all right with you?
That's perfectly fine. And the only instances we've ran across the people that they haven't liked it is when they haven't followed instructions, and for whatever reasons, we're, to be honest, perfectly honest with you, my partner Ed and I were kind of baffled at a couple of the responses where people haven't liked it, because they're telling of results that are basically non-existent in the other 99.9% of the people in the United States that love it. So, but we're open for that. Nobody's infallible, and we want an honest review. We want to hear what you do and don't like about it. If there's room for improvement, which personally I don't see much, but we'll certainly listen to any concerns anybody has about it.
Well, that's one of the things we were talking about just a little while ago. If you have a concealed carry permit, if you're carrying around a firearm that doesn't work when you need it, boy, you have got a hell of a problem. You know that?
It's a dead man's gun.
It's a rock. That's all it is.
Basically, if I run a police department, and I tell all my law enforcement friends this, and the ones that are using FrogLube, they know very well. If I run a team of any sort right now, I would be scared for people on my team not to have their weapons FrogLube. It would scare me. Knowing how well it works now, that there's no jams, no rust, no fouling, I would hate to have somebody on my left or right that's supposed to have my back and their weapon not be FrogLube.
Scary, ain't it? Yeah. Well, folks, that's what we want to know. So, if you like it, let us know. If you don't like it, let us know. There's that other name. Fish hand, okay? We got another phone call coming in. So, I thank you for all of this. I'm going to have to get out of here real quick. Next week, Travis and Ron, if you guys are just listening in, you're going to get a good report on how the guns work, how they fired. Will that work for you?
Yeah, great.
Good to talk to you guys. I got one more phone call here I'm going to take, and then we'll see what's happening. Hang on the line there, folks, real quick. Hello, you're on Classic Country Outdoors.
Yeah, I was wondering about the FrogLube.
Okay, did you give your name and address to Chubby?
I give my name. I didn't give him my address yet.
Well, you can come up here at the radio station and pick it up, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Good enough. We've got your name. I'll put a bottle of it out there for you, and just come up to the radio station and pick it up.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
That'll be tomorrow, probably, right?
No, I think we're going to be Wednesday through Friday is where our record store is open.
Okay, Wednesday through Friday. Okay.
Yes. Is that all right?
Okay, that's fine.
I thank you, sir. Folks, we got to get out of here and see you next week. We'll do another FrogLube next week. Just a little part of the show will be FrogLube next week. We'll tell you how it's working out. Going to have a good deer report for you next week, I think, here on Classic Country Outdoors. Well, folks, we'll see you next week for Classic Country. Good night, Calvin. I'll see you later. Okay, folks, I think we've covered everything here with this situation. I really want to get a good idea of how this product's going to work, so let me know real quick, folks, here on Classic Country. And going to get out of here a little bit early. Connie's got my gun apart over here in the other room. I got to make sure we ain't got no parts left over. Talk to you next week on Classic Country Outdoors.
Musky fishing one day, just my buddy and me, casting the shoreline, taking in the scenery. When from out of nowhere, my bitch did take, looked like a volcano went up in the lake. My rod doubled over, she was peeling out line, and she was pulling my boat. Well, the thought crossed my mind, there's gotta be a way that I can make her mine. Yeah, I got a big hog on the end of my line. Well, I looked at my gear and I wish I had more, like a big steel cable and a 2x4. My buddy yelled, it's a big one, and he went for the net. I said, you better wait a minute, cause she ain't done yet. Feels like I hooked a train that's heading out of town. I was putting on the pressure, but I can't turn her around. There's gotta be a way that I can make her mine. Yeah, I got a big hog on the end of my line. I got a big hog on the end of my line. She exploded from the water, just shaking her head. Her jaws wide open, her eyes saw red. Then with the blood of the devil pumping through her gills, like a runaway freight train headed downhill. She went for deep water over 45 feet. Ain't a fisherman alive that she can't beat. There ain't no way I'm gonna make her mine. Yeah, I had a big hog on the end of my line. I had a big hog on the end of my line.
Classic Country Radio, FM 100.3 and AM 1500, WBZI, Xenia, Dayton, Springfield. I'm Jared.